This crude contraption will allow you to transport the remains of our master.
Can you not simply raise the remains when we find them?
Pardon, Lord, but a being of Kel'Thuzad's power can only be reanimated at a nexus of powerful ley energies, and there are no such places in this land.
Very well then. Let's move out. What is it now? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Must feel it. Tread lightly. What's that?
Arthas! Stop this madness before it's too late!
Stand aside, brother. I've come to collect some old bones and I don't wish to be disturbed. Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. What is it now? Tread lightly. Must feel it. What is it now? No one orders me around. Feel it. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. I'll make sure you suffer. Speak, fool. What is it now?
I can't believe that we ever called you brother. I knew it was a mistake to accept a spoiled prince into our order. You've made a mockery of the Silver Hand.
At last. Finally. Speak, fool. Must feel it. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Must feel it. Must feel it. Tread lightly. This is more like it. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Finally. What is it now? For the Lich King. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Finally. Ah, at last. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. What is it now? Tread lightly. Come along now, Necromancer. The powers that you once served have need of you again.
Told you, my death would mean little.
What the? Am I hearing ghosts now?
It is I, Kel'Thuzad. I was right about you, Prince Arthas.
It took you long enough. These remains are badly decomposed. They will never survive the trip to Quel'Thalas.
Quel'Thalas?
Yes. Only the energies of the High Elves' Sunwell can bring Kel'Thuzad back to life.
Then what must be done?
You must steal a very special urn from the Paladin's keeping. Place the Necromancer's remains within it, and he will be well protected for the journey.
As you wish. Speak, fool.
Thy bidding, master.
The undead must haunt the gold mine before the acolytes can begin harvesting gold.
Thy will
No
be
one
done.
orders me around.
My life for Ner'zhul.
What is it now?
Blight is created when undead structures are summoned. Buildings can only be summoned onto Blight, with the exception of the necropolis.
I bow to your will. Yes, master.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Ah, at last.
Summoning is complete.
When standing on Blight, wounded undead units regenerate faster.
Summoning is complete. My fate is
upon
blighted ground. I gladly obey. Thy
Tread
will
lightly.
be done.
Finally. This is more like it.
Speak. Summoning a graveyard will supply the undead army with fresh corpses. Ah, at last. Speak, fool.
Thy bidding, master.
More gold is required. No one orders me around. What is it now? Must be. Tread lightly. What is it now?
Summoning is complete. Summoning is complete.
Frostborn
Summoning
hungers.
is complete. Summoning is complete.
Ghouls harvest lumber for the undead army.
Must be.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. No one orders me around. Now, Frostmourne. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. No one orders
Inventory
me
is
around.
full.
This is more like it. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Ah, at last. Finally. This is more like it.
I wish only to serve. My fate is sealed. My life for Ner'zhul. Yes, master.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Ah,
Where
at
shall my
last.
blood be spilled?
What is it now? Finally. Must be. Must be.
Upgrade complete.
No one orders me around. This is more like it.
Where shall my blood be spilled? I gladly obey. Thy will be done.
Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. What is it now?
Help! The
Your
undead
pain
has
shall be
returned.
legendary. This is more like it. Faithless coward. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. Your pain shall be legendary.
Summoning is complete.
No one orders me around. For the Lich King.
The undead have returned.
This is more like it. At last.
I must feast on souls. I grow tired of waiting.
Our town is under attack.
What is it now?
Research complete.
This is more like it.
I bow to your will.
Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me around. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. No one orders me around. What is it now? Speak, fool. At last.
Research complete.
What is it now? At last.
Faithless coward.
Finally. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. I'll make sure you suffer. Frostmourne hungers.
Vile betrayer! You are not fit enough to even carry your father's name! Why Uther ever vouched for you is beyond me. You've stripped him of his honor by casting yours to the winds. You deserve a gruesome death, boy.
What is it now? No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Tread lightly.
Must be.
Speak, fool. At last. You will know endless torment. Now, Frostmourne. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. I'll make sure you suffer. Finally. You will know endless torment. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. What is it now? No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. Finally. No one orders me around.
Must feed.
Our forces are under attack.
Fool. Ah, at last. Now, Frostborn. Tread lightly. This is more like it.
Our forces are under attack.
Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. You will know endless torment. Ah, at last. This is more like it. What is it now? Tread lightly. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Ah, at last. No one orders me around. Frostborn hungers.
Light have mercy on you. Your betrayal has broken Uther's heart, boy. He would have given his life for yours in a second. And this is how you repay his loyalty?
Ah, at last. Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Glory to the Scourge. Your pain shall be legendary. Frostborn hungers.
Inventory is full.
Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Must believe.
This is more like it. Finally. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Now, Frostmourne. You will know endless torment. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Faithless coward. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers.
Your father ruled this land for 70 years, and you've ground it to dust in a matter of days.
Very dramatic, Uther. Give me the urn, and I'll make sure you die quickly.
The urn holds your father's ashes, Arthas. What? Were you hoping to piss on them one last time before you left his kingdom to rot?
I didn't know what it held. Nor does it matter. I'll take what I came for one way or another. Speak, fool. This is more like it. No one orders me around.
Our forces are under attack.
Finally. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. At last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me around. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it.
I wish only to serve. Thy will be done.
What is it now?
Must feel it.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. I'll make sure you suffer. Finally. Tread lightly.
Must feel it.
What is it now? Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers.
Must feel it.
Speak, fool.
Thy bidding, master. My life for Ner'zhul.
Finally. This is more like it.
Summoning is
Speak,
complete.
fool. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Finally. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Ah, at last. For the Lich King. Finally. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. Your pain shall be legendary. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Finally. Speak, fool. This is more like it. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Now, Frostmourne. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Finally. Now, Frostmourne. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last. This is more like it. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Ah, at last. Finally. At last. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. I'll make sure you suffer.
I dearly hope that there's a special place in hell waiting for you, Arthas.
We may never know, Uther. I intend to live forever. At last. Tread lightly. Speak, fool.
Must feed. What's up?
No one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers.
What's up?
Tread lightly. At last.
Your pain shall be legendary.
Speak, fool. This is more like it. What is it now? No one orders me around. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Excellent work. Now your journey to Quell Thalas can begin.
Tell him nothing. Only you can hear me. The Dreadlords cannot be trusted. They are the Lich King's jailers. I will tell you all when I walk this world again.